ever gotten a cut or a scrape? Of course you have. Your body does a pretty good job of patching it up, but more often than not, you're left with a little reminder, a scar. It's just a part of life. But what if it wasn't? What if you could heal perfectly without leaving a single trace behind? It sounds like something out of a superhero movie. But for one real-life creature, it's just another Tuesday. Let's meet the undisputed champion of regeneration. At first glance, this little guy looks like a Pokemon that swam right out of your screen. It's got this quirky, permanent smile and these fluffy, feathery gills branching off its head like a bizarre crown. They're often called the walking fish, but they're actually a type of salamander. And here is where it gets weird. They're the Peter Pan of the anima kingdom. They never fully grow up. This state is called neoteny, meaning they reach adulthood without ever going through metamorphosis. Unlike other salamanders that develop lungs and move on to land, the axolotl stays in its juvenile gill form its entire life, living permanently underwater. This arrested development gives them their unique, almost cartoonish appearance, but it's also intricately linked to their incredible superpower. So, what is this superpower? It's a healing factor that would make Wolverine jealous. We're talking about scar-free, perfect regeneration. And I don't just mean regrowing a tail like some lizards do. If an axolotl loses a leg, it doesn't just grow back a stump, it grows back a brand new, fully functional leg, complete with bones, muscles, nerves, and skin. It's a perfect replica, down to the last toe. But it gets even more astonishing. Scientists have observed them regrowing crushed sections of their spinal cords, repairing damaged portions of their hearts, and even regenerating parts of their brains. Imagine suffering a severe brain injury and having your brain just rebuild itself. For an axolotl, this isn't science fiction. It's a biological reality. They can do this over and over again throughout their lives without any decline in quality. So how on earth do they pull this off? The secret lies in their stem cells. When an axolotl is injured, it's like a biological emergency alarm goes off. A swarm of special stem cells rushes to the site of the wound. These cells are what we call pluripotent, which is a fancy way of saying they can become any type of cell the body needs. Think of them as master construction workers holding their original blueprint for the entire body. Instead of just patching the hole, these cells get to work rebuilding the lost part from scratch. They consult the genetic blueprint and start differentiating. One group forming bone, another forming muscle, another creating nerve pathways, and another weaving new skin. It's a highly coordinated, precise process of deconstruction and reconstruction that results in a flawless copy. When you watch it happen, it's mesmerizing. A lost limb doesn't just scab over. First, a layer of skin quickly covers the wound. Then, underneath, a small mound of cells, called the blastema behends to form. This little bud is the command center for regeneration. Over the next few weeks, this bud grows and elongates, slowly taking the shape of the missing limb. You can literally watch as it differentiates, first forming the upper arm, then the forearm, and finally the delicate little finger. The entire structure is rebuilt with perfect anatomical precision, as if the injury never happened in the first place. There's no scar, no imperfection, just a new limb ready for action. This brings up a big question. If an axolotl can do this, why can't we? We have stem cells too. The key difference lies in our body's emergency response protocol. When you suffer a serious injury, your body's number one priority is survival. It needs to close the wound as fast as possible to prevent bleeding out and to block bacteria from causing a deadly infection. So it deploys a rapid response team that slaps on a quick, durable patch. That patch is scar tissue. It is made of tough collagen fibers that are great for plugging a hole but terrible for rebuilding complex structures. This scar tissue effectively acts as a physical barrier telling our body, okay, the crisis is over, no need to rebuild anything here. The axolotls' immune system, on the other hand, reacts differently. It manages inflammation in a way that creates a pro-regenerative environment instead of a scarring one. It essentially tells the stem cells, the coast is clear. Time to start rebuilding according to the original plan. Understanding this process isn't just a matter of scientific curiosity. It holds the key to the future of human medicine. Scientists around the world are feverishly studying the axolotls' genome, which, fascinatingly, is 10 times larger than the human genome. They're trying to identify the specific genes and molecular pathways that switch on this incredible regenerative ability. If we can understand the master switch that tells an axolotl-less body to regenerate instead of scar, could we find a way to activate a similar response in our own cells? The potential is mind-boggling. We're talking about treatments that could allow people with spinal cord injuries to walk again. We could repair heart muscle damaged by a heart attack, effectively reversing the damage. We could treat degenerative brain diseases like Parkinson's, or recover from traumatic brain injuries. We could heal severe burns without scarring and even regrow lost limbs. The axolotl isn't just teaching us how to heal, it's teaching us how to rebuild. So, the next time you see a picture of this strange little water monster with its permanent, goofy smile, remember what you're looking at. It's not just a biological oddity confined to a few lakes near Mexico City. It's a living, breathing miracle of nature. It's a beacon of hope for medical science. A tiny creature that holds the promise of one day teaching us how to heal our own bodies in ways we can currently only dream of. The secrets to perfect healing might not be found in a comic book, but in the DNA of a salamander that simply refused to grow up. Thanks for watching. If you found this as amazing as I do you not forget to like this video and subscribe for more deep dives into the wonders of the natural world. See you next time.